Hey everyone, Anthon-64 here, and today we're here with some more Nitrous knowledge to spread to you guys on CTR Nitro Fuel for the Sony PlayStation 4. Now, we're here for Turbo Track. Now, as per usual with a new technique or something I like to introduce, before we actually get on with the track itself, we gotta share some knowledge. There's two things I want to share here. One is the actual term for the boost extending mechanic, and the other is a technique that we'll use for those sharp corners. Sharper corners, at least. Some of the sharpest in the game. Alright, so the official term for the boost extender mechanic is called, appropriately enough, reserves. Reserves is the boost extending invisible mechanic I've been hyping on. Now, the reason why this is important though, other than the fact that it extends your boost, is because of a course like this, where sometimes I'll end up, if you run into a wall, your reserves are instantly burned. So basically, while you're boosting, the reserves are going down slowly, but while you're getting the power slide boosting, you're actually extending it and increasing the reserves. There is a cap in the reserves, but you won't notice until you just decide, alright, let me just stop doing power sliding and just drive normally. But for the time being, as you can see, I'm extending the reserves right now by adding more into it through the power slide boost. This is why getting different timings of the power slide boost is important. If you get on perfect, more reserves will be added into the meter. And finally, the other technique, sorry, I'm still getting the two mixed up. The other technique is called U-turning. So, as you probably already know, to stop completely, you just press the square button. To stop while turning and getting a hard brake, you let go of the accelerator and you press square and left and right. That way you can actually get a really hard turn. We're gonna go one step above this. We're gonna be using a technique called U-turning. So the U-turn, you have to hold down and the direction, let go of the accelerating button, which is X, and pressing the brake button while turning, which in this case would be square. Let me show this again. So you already saw how I managed to get through that turn without running into most of the things that are there, until I eventually ran into something. Combine this with jumping or hopping, whichever you want to refer to. Combine this with hopping and you actually get even deeper U-turns. You can use this technique on the ground, but it's not really as resourceful because you'll lose your speed while trying to make this turn and the boost constantly pushing you forward. So your essentially will still slow down doing it that method, but it's the more consistent method that'll make sure you don't crash into anything. So, whichever mode you prefer when using U-turning is fine. Now keep that in mind as we get to the race. Alright. So with that, Turbo Track. As you probably noticed, I'm actually getting a different type of speed on Turbo Track. One that's even faster than one we've already gotten. I'll discuss the fire levels later, because this one only has one level of fire. Once we get both of them, I'll gladly explain what's going on. But right now, it's just like, just know that this is the highest speed, one of the highest speeds in the game. And that Turbo Pads gives you Every single turbo pad you see right here gives you this fire. Whether it's the same level of speed or not, like the exact same level, there are some differences, but you won't notice it until someone passes you, really. But whether or not this is the case, either way, the only real part of the analysis I like to share here is just this part right here where you need to U-turn. I've actually already made a video talking about this too. So it'd be very convenient if you want to check out this section with U-turning in more detail. But right now, it's mostly just more of the same. Power drifting and jumping over the grass for some slight, like a couple milliseconds, cut off in the time. And cut off on the general time of the race. Not really much else to offer here other than maybe some bombs and some like items and such. I know I've been lacking on describing putting items in like some shortcuts and everything, but I feel like the reason why I don't mention that is because like in that kind of scenario, most of the things at most you'd have to worry about is just being aware of the items and be able to get the heck out the way. And that's really it though. That is it for this video. Alright, I know the Gemstone Valley area was fairly short, as you could probably tell. But hey, we're going to get to the Lost Ruins area, starting with Cocoa Park. Another fairly basic level, but hey, there's more you get to learn off of this one. And I feel like this is something that's going to be important. We won't go into anything groundbreaking here either, but I'll explain more of that in the next video. Until then, this is Nitrous. Thank you guys for watching, and keep that nitrous ready.